Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to look at the way teams allocate their resources. On the board we have a lot of information that you probably can't read a lot of. I'm going to, at least at the moment, I'm thinking of taking the numbers and putting them on the Discord in the rankings and things like that of how these teams actually are ordered. But the point I really wanted to make was get the outliers and go over it. So I have the 5 roles here and the gold percentage for each role. I have tried to mathematically take the players, teams that have multiple players in each role and do the math to some degree. Not the current starting 5. And by the way, this is all throughout the year. So this includes winter and spring for LEC. This includes LCS playoffs. It does not include C9 FlyQuest today because this is when I decided to do this. And it doesn't include tomorrow's final day of LCK and things like that. This is kind of spur of the moment. So let's look at this. Top lane. Anyone's Legend and Team Liquid. So Harry and Impact all the way to the left here at 20.4%. So they have the lowest. Thunder Talk Carmine Corp. So Hoya Cabochard. Oscarinin, bottom 5 as well. Now the top 5 are Team Wii at 22.7%. Wayward has the most resources allocated to him percentage-wise, followed by Photon on Vitality. EDG, KDF, RNG are at 22.4, so that's Ale and Solo Kill, Doodoo, and Breathe. So what can we draw from that? Not much, honestly. I mean, you could argue the 5 teams towards the left side, the lower end. 2 of the 5 are one of the better teams in their regions. Then you have 2 teams that are meh in anyone's Legend, Thunder Talk, and then KC, who kind of suck. Then the 5 highest, I mean, a little weaker. Vitality is probably the best of the bunch relative to their region. And then you have Team Wii, KDF, RNG, middle of the road. Team Wii a little better than that. It depends on, who's in the lineup. And now that stays in the lineup more, these numbers are going to change for Team Wii. And EDG are struggling. And in the middle, you have a bunch of teams, right? So if you really think about it, like in the instance of 20.7%, I know you can't make this out, but I'm going to break it down for a second. So you have Keen, right, at 20.7%, but then you also have Cube, Fake God, and Perfect. That's quite a group, right? Fake God and Perfect is the same as Keen. Like, that's how we're allocating resources here. That's how, the gold is kind of panning out. Shanji and Decade have the same amount. Wonder and Doran. Xiaolahu, Xiaozhu. Zeus is at 22.1%. So at this end, he's 6th highest. That makes sense, right? He is a strong carry-oriented top. And he's actually, you could argue, the first carry-oriented top on the board overall. Like truly carry-oriented. Now in the jungle, a wide amount here. And rookies at both ends. So it's 17.2%. The lowest, D plus Kia and Lucid, getting the least amount of resources when it comes to share. And then the most is actually FPX, Milky Way for the bulk of it at 20.2%. That's a very big difference. And that's not represented here at this point in top lane because D plus and FPX, top lane gets about the same amount of gold share. It's more so a difference in the bot lane, which we'll get into. So you see that 3%, and where is it made up? Well, in the bot lane, I mean, FPX is at 21.2% for Duck Dom, and then aiming leads the way at 24.8%. So it flips, right? There's only 100% to go around. Some of the other lower gold shares for jungle. Canyon, second lowest at 20.4% or 20.5. Nongshim, Sylvie, 20.6. Peanut, 20.7. So it's clear the LCK gives junglers less gold, right, relative to the rest of the team. The coaching and the mindset is jungle, more of a facilitator role, less farm. And you look at the far end, it's actually top 4 all LPL. Milky Way, like I said, followed by EDG. Whether it's Monkey or JJ, it's still panned out to third most at 19.7%. Layan, Tianjin still at 19.9%. Which is actually something because Tianjin was at like 17.2 for the games he played. That just goes to show you how much Layan gets in terms of gold. OMG at 19.5, Zhaofeng, and then Kanavi at 19.4%. So the top 5 teams in gold share for junglers are all in the LPL, followed by Cloud9 and Carmine Corp. So Blabber and Bo. We have 19% for Boogie and Bechuan. Tien and Shun have the same amount of gold percentage. In terms of like the most common, I mean, we had 4 teams for multiple, so it's really hard to find the bulk. In the case of top lane, by the way, it was 21%. We had 7 teams at 21% top lane share. Jungle, like I said, it's 4 different groups. Mid lane, wide difference as well. We have 24.1%, the highest for Gen G and Immortals, so Chovy and Mask. And then the lowest is IG with Cryan at 20.7%. And you think about that, IG is very high over here. So if IG is high over here, that gold has to be dissipated elsewhere, right? Top lane IG are low, in mid lane IG are low. Now, some other lower mid lane totals. EDG. So once again, they're finding a way to, if the gold's going to the jungle, it's being taken away from somewhere. It's not top lane because EDG have a high top lane gold share. It is in mid lane, whether it was Fisher or 0909, who is now starting at the moment. Yagao, 21.1%. Then you have Insanity in there from Shopify Rebellion, but then 3 more LPL teams. Knight, 21.5, Care, 21.6, Xiaohu, 21.7. So what do we have here? Yeah, 6 of the 7 lowest gold shares are LPL teams. So the jungler's getting higher share. Mid lane is the one that's taking, losing farm to maybe the jungler, if you will. Where in the case, actually, when you look at mid lane, who has the highest gold share in the LPL, it's Shanks at 23.4%, followed by Haichao, Yukai. So really, anyone's legend are meh, okay. But the other 2 teams, not very good. So, going with this mindset of high gold share for the mid lane or in the LPL, not necessarily winning games. A lot of teams in the middle here, between 22 and 23%. That seems to be the most common. Just looking here, what do we have? 5 teams there. 3 teams there. Most common, I believe, is 22.6%. There's a lot of teams there, but 22.6% seems to be the most common. Bot lane, like I said, so FPX way at the left there, 21.2%, and D plus at 24.8%. Ruler, 24.7%. Light, 24.5%. Then you have BDS and Shopify Rebellion at 24.4%. So Ice and Bvoy, 2 Korean import, 80 carries. Some other teams towards this end. Now, you also have to keep in mind with the Senna meta. Oh, shoot, almost tripped there. The teams that have really low gold shares over here, you really think about it, they've been playing some interesting bot lanes, right? FPX clearly hell. They pulled out a Swain. We see NRG play Senna bot all the time. FlyQuest plays Senna bot, 100 Thieves as well. So this is not a shock, right, if you actually think about it. And then you have C9 Vitality, around just a little over 22%. KDF LGD, so really, what, out of the LCS teams, I guess, are the good LCS teams, but the rest of the teams, not that strong. Vitality is good. And then you get into some better teams with T1 at 22.6%, which is offset here in support by Carria, who is at second highest in gold share. Some teams, I guess, that are on the higher end that I didn't talk about: Exakick with SK above 24%, Jiwoo at 24% for Nongshim. So the teams way over here, I guess JDG, Weibo are good, but the rest, the better teams are in this big mix of teams in the mid 23 to 24% here. Most common, I think, is 23 point. Yeah, I would go with 23.4%. That includes Giant X, Gen G, OMG, KT, and Thunder Talk. So that's probably the mode of bot lane. And then we have support. So support, most common, is 14.1%, followed closely by 14%. So that seems to be where most support sit. Now, the lowest is Execute at 13.5% for FearX. And FearX actually are in the middle here in bot lane. So where is that actually being made up? You could argue maybe in mid lane. Closer is in probably that top 10 of gold share. And I guess in the jungle, FearX is kind of closer to the right side of it. But rather, it seems that FearX kind of evenly spread that gold out. Mickey X is lower on here. Labrav, which makes sense because Ice is getting so much of the gold. Missing. Zoli's, low gold share. Higher gold shares, NRG, who he's at 16% pretty much, which is very high. Followed by T1, Carria, Barrel for KT, which is something because you see here, actually you can't see here, but I'm going to point it out anyways because, like I said, look at the Discord and you'll see the numbers in the extra content channel. But we got KT here where my hand is, and then we have KT here. So the bot lane's getting a lot of gold. So that's being offset by Perfect up here, not getting a lot of gold. BDD and Pioshik in the middle to the left side more. FlyQuest, Vitality, FPX. Higher in gold share for supports, makes sense. FlyQuest and all three of those 80 carries are over there, so it's being offset. It makes, like I said, it makes sense. But it was just something interesting I thought I'd do, really to see, we've got Team Wii and Vitality way over here with EDG, KDF, RNG, and top lane. Over there, you've got a group of Anyone's Legend, Team Liquid, C9, KC, Thunder Talk, Fnatic. At the lower end, Jungle, D+, Genji, Nongshim, HLE at the lower end, and then the LPL teams at the higher end with FPX, IG, EDG, OMG, JDG. Mid lane, lowest IG, EDG, JDG, Shopify, BLG with Knight. Highest, 100 Thieves, TL, FlyQuest, Rogue, Immortals, Gen G. And then, like I said, the bot lane, we just had just went over. So, just something interesting I thought I'd talk about. Like I said, for the third time, so if someone comments, says, I can't read this board, they didn't watch the whole video, and I'm going to comment to them in the comment section and say, watch the video. I know you didn't watch the video, and just kind of leave it at that, and, what it is, what it is. So, look at extra content if you want the particulars. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.